This match, by the way, in the Torch gets a B grade. Wade would say this was a steadily paced opener that was satisfying. However, maybe a bit too long. They're going to go 14 minutes. I liked it.
I'm watching it now and it's absolutely fantastic. And I think that the pace is a good one because they're telling a wrestling story and they're having a wrestling match where they're, oh my God, someone's actually grabbing a hold and working a hold. So it becomes to the point of what kind of fan are you? Do you want to watch the wrestling matches? Do you want the gaga? And I think most people would say, I want both. Nice little,
double team.
Yeah.
And the crowd's into it, man.
They are, cause you've got Bobby Heenan out there solidified as a heel and able to get the response, even if there isn't one there. But this was during the time too, trying to establish Brett and Neidhart as baby faces, and they were new on the babyface side. So it was, people were still trying to figure out what the hell was going on with them. But it, again, beautiful story with the blind tag, totally tagging Arn in as Brett comes in, and bam, now we're ready to set the heat with Arn Anderson beating the shit out of Brett.
It's an interesting dynamic between these two tag teams in that, while Neidhart was a good performer, I think everybody knows that the star of the team was Bret Hart. He was certainly the standout and the big performer of the two. I don't know that that's necessarily a dynamic that exists with the Brain Busters. I feel like Arn and Tully are sort of equal footing.
Yeah, they were equal footing and they were interchangeable. And the star of the team was really in this incarnation, Bobby Heenan.
Right.
But as far as workers and who's going to stand out in the ring, I think that they were equal in that regard and fairly interchangeable. Both Tully and Arn were great. Bobby Heenan just added a sense of realism and believability to whatever the hell he was doing, whether it was on the outside of the ring or behind the microphone, to where he was in the moment and made you believe.
It's a shame to look in the ring and Morella's no longer with us. Bobby's no longer with us. Anvil's no longer with us. We just lost him about a year ago.
Yeah. When you go back and watch something 30 years prior, it makes you sad, because I would like to believe that we're all, good God, at this point, I'm only 25 years old and thinking everybody is just the same age and they stay there. They stay that way forever. And that just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Neidhart here is only 34 years old. I think Brett's like 31 or 32. And Arn Anderson, I feel like Arn Anderson was born 40 years old.
Yes.
But in fact, he's 30 here, which you would not guess looking at him.
Yeah. Well, Marty Lundy. I remember Arn, when Arn first broke in under his real name, Marty Lundy, with the bleach blonde hair and the beard, as a tag team with Matt Bourne. And I just never, with the exception of this stint, and I never got to work with Arn for any length of time ever. And,
even when he was an agent with you guys in 2001?
Well, I just saw him at TV. Yeah. And he was an agent producer. So it just was very little interaction for the most part, other than friendly and, hey, how you doing? And you want to go take a ride around the parking lot of the bar in Indianapolis or something like that. Not that ever happened, or
allegedly.
Well, I'm just saying it's a hypothetical.
Sure. By the way, can you believe that I finally convinced Arn to do a podcast?
Oh boy. Well, good luck with that.
Oh, really? You don't think it's going to be good?
I hope it's wonderful.
Okay. Yeah. Arn has always played everything very, very close to the vest and is going to open up and tell some stories for the first time. I mean, Arn's so old school. He doesn't even have social media.
Well, there you go. And speaking of old school, look at these two old timers going at it, Brett and Tully. And the thing that I really liked about the Hart Foundation during this time is they were baby faces, but they worked like heels. Which is probably why they were such good baby faces. Brett cleaning house, and got, by God, there's that baby face comeback that he always likes to make. Got to throw that drop kick in for good measure.
What do you think of the way the crowd is lit here? This is, the WWF is really the first wrestling company to do extensive lighting like this for television.
Well, to me, I always liked it, and it just highlights the crowd and gives you a good backdrop when you're looking at that versus a dark, just a black, kind of dull backdrop. I think for the television audience, it is not nearly as exciting as seeing the crowd and everything around them. I know a lot of people would argue that, and we've tried it different ways, but when you look at it on television, I think it just adds a hell of a backdrop and makes it three-dimensional because you can see the audience and that crowd in the background.
Not only does it look better aesthetically, to have sort of an interesting backdrop, but in addition to that, it also has a little bit of a, social proof, a little bandwagon effect. Like, golly, look how many people there are there. This is a big attraction.
Sure. And you can see, everything going on. And part of that appeal is, boy, I'll go to a big event and I'll be on camera. Hopefully they're going to see me. Hey, look for me. I'm in the 8th row.
Who was making the gear for the boys at this point?
During this time, they had their own people that did most of the stuff. Like Bobby had someone that did all of his jackets.
How about that for a unique move? That's something you didn't see very often.
A nice little reverse body slam. Good shit. And just a typical great, simple, absolutely simple heel move with the switch. And
then Arn covers up his flesh covered yarmulke, so you can't tell that it's him. He's not the legal man, but they steal a pin. Love that finish. If you're going to watch one match on the show, I would recommend it be this one. Can't believe Wade gave this a B. This is an A to me.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. That kind of tells you. Wrestling tabloids.
I'm admittedly a mark though for Arn and Tully.
Now, Arn and Tully were a hell of a tag team. They really were.
I mean, look at this though. This is a fun deal where, it's a whatever move off the top rope, but the little nuance stuff with Arn is what always stood up, like covering his bald spot with Brett's arm. So you can't tell, is that Arn or is it Tully? And there you go. There's your victory.
Absolutely. And now are we going to go to the infamous sign drop? I bet you that if it is, it's edited out of the network stuff. No, it's not.
Oh,